In this video, we will cover how to create pros in FarEye using the manual entry form. If you haven't already, I recommend creating a FarEye imports folder just to help keep the data organized. From your desktop, right-click anywhere, select New, choose Folder, and name your folder. Now we're ready to open up the web form. In this video, we're on version 2.1, but you may have a newer version. Go ahead and click to open the web form. You'll immediately see a security warning that macros have been disabled. Macros are what make the form work, so go ahead and click Enable Content. Required fields are shaded in light red, and you'll get a progress message on the bottom of the form. As you enter data, the red shading goes away. So pro number is required. PO number, if you have it, you can enter it. Otherwise, we can skip that field. Quantity, weight, and hazmat. If the answer to hazmat is yes, you'll want to put the HN number and a description of what the hazmat item is. Let's call this chlorine. If the answer to hazmat is no, you want to put in the product name or the details of the product, such as what is being shipped. If we need to schedule an appointment, go ahead and select yes. Selecting no means that this item will be ready to be dispatched once it is received. For now, all of these items will be deliveries. The customer or carrier is our customer, so go ahead and click the name and enter in the estimated delivery date, which should be provided. These dates do need to be in the future, or else you'll get an error message if you try to submit the form. All right, I'm going to pause the video just a moment while I enter in the details. Okay, now that I have my form filled out, I do want to call out a couple of fields. The first one is for accessorials. You'll see in this box, we have all of our charges listed and we can select as many as we need. Selecting it one time highlights it blue, which means it will be added. You can select as many services as are needed. If you don't see your service in this list, in the lower right hand, there is a little arrow that you can click to scroll through. Same thing with the upper right to get back at the top. The next field I want to call out is the ship delivery start time and end time. If we have the delivery window when the pro is received, we can enter it in. This is a date time field, and we will want to enter it in with date, the hour, and then AM or PM. This field does require that the start time and end time be at least 15 minutes apart from each other. This allows for the routing to appropriately account for any delays in driving. All right. If you have the dimensions, we can enter them here for the length, width, and height, as well as the BOL and trailer number. You'll see here all mandatory fields are complete, and we can click Submit. If everything looks good and your validation passes, you'll get a success message. Click OK, and your form details will clear. There are two fields that remain, delivery and the ship to state of New York. This field value for New York can be set to New Jersey, but for now it defaults there to make it one less step to fill out. Okay, I'm going to enter in one more pro number. Okay, now that I have my second pro number entered, I click Submit, get the same success message, and now we're ready to create our import template. Click on the Data tab, and I want to call out a few things here. You'll notice that between the first pro and the second pro, there are a couple of lines of white space. If we scroll all the way over to the right, we'll see that that's because we selected multiple services during that first entry. So each service is added to its own line. So when we import this file, an accessorial will be created for liftgate, inside delivery, and residential. You'll notice on the second item, I did not select any services, so those fields are blank. If you make a mistake while you're entering in an item, click on the Data tab, locate the pro, and look for any additional rows that might have been added due to services. And let's say I want to remove that first pro. I want to highlight all 3 rows, right-click, and delete. So now I've only got 1 pro that I'm ready to import into the system. Click on this cornerstone in the upper left, and that will select all of the data. From here, we can do one of 2 ways to copy the data. Right-click, select copy, or if you're familiar with keyboard shortcuts, you check that and click Control-C, which does the same thing. Now we want to open up a new Excel template to prepare our import. So you do 2 ways. You could go to File, Blank Workbook, which will open up a new file for us to work with, or you can launch another instance of Excel. So now we want to paste the data. If you use keyboard shortcuts, click Control-V. Otherwise, you can right-click and select Paste. This will now be the file we're going to use for our import. So we're going to click File, Save As, Browse, and now what we want to do is find our template folder. So here's my FarEye templates. I'll select that, and then I'll name my import. So today will be 11/26, and this is my first import for today. And now I'll click Save. Before you attempt to import, go ahead and close this file. And now that we're back on our form sheet, we don't want this data to be saved either. So what we can do is we can select all the rows, right-click, and delete. Or what we can do is just simply close it and don't save any changes. All right, let's open up FarEye. We'll go to Consignment Order. In the upper right, click on this arrow where it says Bulk Upload. And you can drag and drop or click on this box. Let's find our FarEye Imports folder. And here I want to import my 11/26 import 1. And just like that, we got a success message and everything looks good. From here, if we want to spot check any of the items, click on the search box, enter in the pro number, click search, and we could see here all of the details we added. All right, let me know what feedback you have. Thanks.